He's serving 25 to life for killing his wife on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. But Rod Covlin, in an interview with our investigative reporter Kristin Thorne, still insisting 4 years after trial that he's innocent.
Covlin, now in the maximum security Attica prison upstate, claims the prosecutor lied and made up evidence, and he's filing a motion in court to overturn his conviction.
We've seen lots of innocent people sent to prison, of course, for murders they didn't commit. Does Covlin fall into that category?
You be the judge. Kristin is here now with her interview. Kristin?
Sade and Bill, I will tell you, it's certainly an interesting case. Rod Covlin tells me his murder conviction should be overturned because he believes the prosecutor in the case fabricated evidence and lied to the jury. The Manhattan DA says prosecutors proved correctly that Covlin killed his wife.
I grew up believing very strongly that the justice system was just.
But Rod Covlin says his murder conviction is not just.
So why do you think you were convicted?
Well, I was convicted because of the prosecutorial misconduct.
That's what Covlin is alleging in a new motion to the courts, asking a judge to overturn his conviction that he murdered his wife, Shelley Covlin, in 2009, that he strangled her and dumped her body in the bathtub of her apartment on the Upper West Side.
Did you do it?
No, I didn't. I didn't. There is not a shred of evidence that I actually did it. And that's why the prosecutor had to fabricate evidence.
What do you think happened to her?
I think she slipped and fell.
In fact, when police first responded to Shelley Covlin's apartment, they did not suspect foul play and called her death an accident. But as time began to pass, her family began to believe Shelley's estranged husband may have been involved. They requested Shelley's body be exhumed. The medical examiner found a bone broken in Shelley's neck and ruled her death a homicide by strangulation. Rod Covlin was arrested, charged, and put on trial in 2019. During the prosecutor's closing arguments, the prosecutor showed the jury a picture of Shelley's bed pillow
and stated that here was evidence, this photograph was evidence that the attack started in the bed because he claimed that there was a wet spot on the bed. And he zoomed in under a pillow that was on her bed, which actually showed a shadow. But he claimed it was a wet spot. Now, mind you, every NYPD officer who responded to that apartment, who testified at trial, said the bed was not wet that morning. There was no wet spot. It was made up.
All that is required is that a judge evaluate this fairly. I just can't believe that a judge at some point won't do the right thing.
The Manhattan DA says there's overwhelming evidence that Rod Covlin killed Shelley, and her family agrees. They made it clear during Covlin's sentencing.
He ruined our family with his purposeful murder of Shelley.
When Covlin lost his appeal in 2022, the Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg, praised the court's decision. To that, Covlin's daughter, Anna, who was 9 years old at the time of her mother's death, wrote an open letter to Bragg saying, "I was in my mother's apartment and my father was not there until I unlocked the door in the morning. New York State took away my dad's freedom. My dad is not a murderer."
He's actually the only person in the world, aside from me, who can know with 100% certainty that I didn't do this.
I reached out to the Manhattan DA regarding Covlin's claims of the prosecutor fabricating evidence. They told me they would respond to his claims in court papers.